This segment of CoastLife is sponsored by Liberty Concrete.
You are watching CoastLife, and we know that the weather has started to get a little bit nicer. It is officially spring, and it's feeling like spring. So you're going to want to get outside, and you're going to want to start some of those home reno projects. And maybe one that you haven't thought about is your driveway, your walkway, ways to spruce that up, whether it's from a practical standpoint or a cosmetic standpoint. Liberty Concrete has you covered. I'm hanging out with Robert Hammond, the superintendent with Liberty Concrete. And Robert, you guys have done some beautiful work here at this home, but you guys do beautiful work all the time. Talk to us a little bit about the process of a concrete walkway. Why should somebody choose concrete as opposed to a more traditional driveway?
Well, concrete's maintenance free. You don't have to worry about any of the year-round, sealing in the driveway per se, or, just the basic maintenance. You're not going to have the cracks. Concrete is not where it's going to crack or if it's going to crack. It's going to crack. It's just being strategic in your relief cuts and relief joints and that type stuff. So it's a maintenance-free, year-round thing that you never have to worry about.
I love the sound of that. And I know a lot of people that are probably struggling with some of that maintenance, especially after the winter that we had. I mean, it was harsh. We saw a lot of snow. People were throwing a lot of salt down. So maybe people are dealing with some of the aftermath of that, seeing the damage of their driveway. Is now a good time for them to say, you know what, it's time for concrete?
Yeah, so the problem with salt is, there's an alkali reaction that happens from salt and concrete. So you don't use salt on concrete. It's something that everybody does. You throw it on your driveway, and then next year or whatever, you start to see like pock marks in it. Mm-hmm. That's that reaction that's just not supposed to happen. So you're supposed to use sand, put sand down, and then you can just blow it away after this, the snow is gone. So that's the biggest problem we've seen this year is we just had a big snow season. And with the snow season, we've had a lot of calls for that alkali reaction problem, Yeah,
and I mean, I have to say, I think the first words out of my mouth as we were walking up to this home and seeing this driveway was, it's beautiful. When you think concrete, you're kind of like, concrete.
Yeah, so there's vanilla concrete, and there's a bunch of different stamped options. So this is like Roman slate middle with ash or slate border. The color options are just, if you dream it up, we can pretty much make it happen. And as far as, design, we have a crew that kind of comes out and makes a design with you. Once you like your design, they'll draw it up. And then once you sign off on the drawing, you make it happen. Something like this takes about 2 to 3 weeks. It just depends on the weather, really.
Good to know. Good to know. So I think that is something maybe to keep in mind. Spring, everybody wants to get started, but that is also when we see some of our rainier weather. So people do need to be a little patient or check the weather forecast before you start your projects. So talk to me a little bit about that process then. Somebody sees this and they go, I want that in my home. What does that sort of beginning of the process look like when they reach out to Liberty Concrete?
So first they'll do an estimate with us. Jackie will come out and do an estimate with you. Jack, you're one of the other estimators. And then once you get your estimate and you like, what you see, then we'll come out and do, like I said, we'll do that drawing if the drawing needs to be done. If there's no drawing, then usually it's HOA approval. We're just waiting on that. Sure. So get the HOA approval, and then we're usually like 3 to 6 weeks out for the work, and then that's that. I mean, we come in, usually, if it's just like a basic sidewalk, like 3 days we're in and out.
Awesome. I know a lot of people are going to love to hear that. I know you guys are also really community oriented. Talk to me a little bit about that and why it's important to be community oriented, especially as a local business.
Yeah, so I mean, we first started because when I came home, I seen that they were just charging more than you should for stuff. And not just that, like, the seniors and the military people, all the first responders, they're there every day for us. So we try to give back when we can. So we do those year-round deals,
Awesome.
And we just try to be community oriented because we came from nothing and we know what it's like.
I love that. And I think everybody deserves to have something beautiful about their home. And you guys really do help the community achieve that. So if folks are interested, they see this walkway, they want it to be part of their own lifestyle and all of the different beautiful types of concrete that you guys lay down. I mean, I never knew you could be so creative with concrete. What should they do? How should they start this process? Should they get a call? Should they walk in somewhere?
Reach out to us at 302-236-5810 or 302-236-1528. And you can reach us and we'll usually get you an estimate within 72 hours.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much for having us out here and showing off what you guys can do. But we've got some more of coastal communities and coastal Delmarva to show off with more CoastLife. That's on the way.